Yeah, sure.
Same thing.
And it says, "But thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, and pass over the river."
That's called exposing Esau's wickedness. Again, the cross-made banner, the history of Independence Day. I had a conversation with Chad a couple of days ago.
That's good.
Water, bro. Grind mill, where after it says that part, where it says uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, and pass over the river. These are all shaming tactics that were typically done back in the ancient world of slaves, especially passing over the river. You know, pretty much how the Israelites got to the Babylonian captivity, they had to what? They had to pass over the river. And it's a shameful thing. So when you fast forward into this captivity, that cup is going to pass over to Esau Edom. He's going to have to go through these same shaming tactics. Right? And the shaming tactics that he's going to have to go through is what? His lies being exposed by the truth of GMS KnightsofYahawashi. You know? Which is a very shameful thing in too. Because you was never supposed to know, you know, who the elites of the society was. You remember, their power is in secrecy. You know? They paid millions of dollars.
That's how the Chaldeans were. They tapped in also astrology. And behind the curtain, they were praying to these gods and all these deities and manipulating the people. The apostles and the Jewish scribes and Pharisees, they were doing the same thing going back to the time of the ancient Roman Empire. You know, when you watch these different movies and stuff, it shows you how they would trick the people. The Lord sending a sign, make the doves fly by or something like that. And a nigga with a cage on the side of the building, let some doves out, and all the congregations looking out the window. Oh my goodness, you know. All right, who is Francis Scott Key? Francis Scott Key, 1779. All right, which what was 3 years before?
The Revolutionary.
Say what?
Oh, the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, we is 1776. All right, which the reason why they talk about today is because of the Civil War, all right, American Civil War. All right, and from 1843, he was an American lawyer from Maryland, a so-called devout Christian. Oh wow, so he was a Christian, an Edomite Christian. All right, an entrepreneur, an amateur poet. I'm sorry, he wrote the poem after witnessing the British bombardment of Fort McHenry in September 1814 and seeing the American flag still flying the next morning. His views on slavery are complicated and contradictory. He came from a slave-owning family and enslaved people himself for part of his life. He represented some enslaved people in court seeking their freedom. He publicly described slavery as morally wrong. However, he did not support immediate universal abolition and believed many free black Americans should be settled in Africa through the American colonization of society. Yeah, we be back to slavery, we're not fucking Africans. You know what I'm saying? Then what about the other tribes? We got Gad, this is Carl Rubin. What about the indigenous people?
Oh, I didn't see that.
They're slaves as well.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. And thou wilt come in the punishment
Oh, they tore it up.
and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord will lead thee. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and thou shalt gather but little in.
Right, so that's what he was seeing. He was viewing our people, and he was doing that to our people while creating that proverb and that Bible. Can you look that up in the Hebrew? Let's get that out blue letter. Yeah. And let's get let's just go. Oh, you get what you got. Also get Psalms 137.
Yep. This is the book that happened.
What's that?
Shanyanya in the Hebrew, byword,
The word is Shanun.
Shanun. And it says, sharp sword, sharp, taunt, guide,
And that's for bywords?
Yes, sir.
That's because words have power, man. You sing a certain melody about a people over hundreds and hundreds of years, it builds a stereotype. You know, it builds a what they call a stigma. Alright? So people are expected to view you or see you in a certain way. Just like that video I know brother saw circulating about the Moabites and why they got restaurants in all of our neighborhoods. And how it all originated. That shit was fucked up, bro. I was studying that all night. That's crazy.
The lesson says guide an insulting or a mocking remark. Insult.
That's the Star Spangled Banner. Go ahead.
This is the book of
Jesus
Habakkuk.
got us in this fucked up situation. Man.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so you blaming God like you blaming God?
No, I'm blaming Jesus, the white Jesus. His name's not Jesus.
Why Jesus? You know Jesus is
Hey,
black.
tell your man to go read Revelation 1 and 13. We'll teach him that he can teach you. That's how we get down. Go ahead.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 11. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity.
Yeah, so we're standing on Potomac Indian blood, Piscataway Indian blood, Wycomico Indian blood, Anacostia Indian blood, Seneca Indian blood, Cherokee Indian blood. I'm talking about in this area. I can keep going.
I recently found out that Washington Reagan airport, that airport was the plantation of the and they built it. It's called the Abingdon plantation. You know, I just recently found that out. But that whole entire plantation region is what's it called? That whole entire airport was once upon a time a plantation.
That's crazy.
And it's right by the Potomac River.
They got that. I still go sometimes every once in a while. You go, there's a field right there. You can sit down and watch the planes take off. You know, there's a field over there. People go and watch. But it's crazy. That airport's an international airport. Yeah. All of these. Georgetown. Black. You know, back when Patrick Ewing was still playing. You know. That was all Jake. I'm going to confirm that.
This is Numbers 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land.
Right. Our blood was defiled under the names of Jesus and Christ. That's why I told her Jesus Christ got us in this fucked up situation. You know? The good ship Jesus, not only did it bring slaves, it did a lot of other wickedness, you know? It'll say like, it'll say a certain amount of slaves made, were entered the bitter passage, right? Let's say 100 million, right? But only 90 million made it. That's still 10 million that died out there. Either on the ships or got overthrown. It's not like they had a court out there and they could try to figure out the situation. By then, it was too late, man. Because you Israelites, our people, you cursed us. That pure sacrifice you were talking about, Yahawashi, that pure influence that you refused, got you in this situation. And I always bring it up. On the eastern shore of Maryland, it's still there. It's a road called Queen Box Road. C-O-O-N Box Road. Queen Box Road. Yeah, the same box you see in the Django. That had people all in their feelings. It's a fucking road across the water. And that's just one example across many in this land, man. Read Numbers again.
Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein,
Right.
but by the blood of him that shed it.
Yeah, it's talking about when you commit murder. All right? When you commit murder. That is premeditated. That's what Esau was doing. He was premeditating murder before our forefather Isaac was dead. He was dying and he was premeditating murder. How wicked could you be, man? You know?
And the next one is heavy because right now they have witnesses against them in this little sanctuary, the servants of prophets. So now judgment could be pronounced against these devils, up and coming priests and kings. So now this man is in the sentencing phase of his crimes. So he's on a limited timeline now. This is Numbers 35 and 34. Be found not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell. For I, the Lord, GMS dwell among the children of Israel.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it just stops living among Israel. It's never to go. It's not like you can step outside the borders, all right, now I can commit any type of wickedness I want. That's why we got this scripture. All right, read that.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. And it says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
One more time.
Yep. It says, Matthew 5 and 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
So if he's coming to fulfill the law, what about the manslayer law we was reading about? How are we going to get our lick back? Well, he reminds us, if you overcome, I'm going to give you power over the nations who committed this atrocities and this murder on you. Ezekiel 35 goes completely in on Esau. It said, you have some perpetual hatred. The scriptures say that we're wrestling in the womb. Imagine what Rebecca was thinking. You know? Like, why me? Imagine the pain she probably was going through. Birth, before you give birth, you know, certain positions, they be fucking women up, man. They be through. They be ready to go. Give up the ghost. You know? Imagine, too, wrestling. Right. Through, just like the elder said. Go ahead,
This is John 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right, so if you're using a J word, you ain't freeing nobody, man. Just like you think. Pushing us further into the place, put another damn Chinese restaurant, liquor store, mosque, Baptist or Pentecostal church, you know, into the neighborhood, into the community. You got people pouring in money. Yo, Nate's net worth is in millions, man. He's literally sitting like a king in the society. If you got that much, you're a king in the society, man. Depending on where you live. Go ahead. Yeah, read that. What you got? Yeah, Ezekiel 35.
Yep. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 1. And it says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord God, behold, O Mount Seir, I'm against it.
Yeah, Mount Seir is walking around. It's all your dollar bills. Alright, it's Esau Edom, a so-called self-proclaimed white man, but he's pushed millions of dollars to make you think that his race has been destroyed. They just they're mixed in, and now it's a hidden clan in the Nepalese mountains or some shit, you know? Or the indigenous people of Australia, you know? Damn, Jaffet, what's that dude who caught a stroke? He was saying that he was pushing Jaffet in his documentary. He's through. I don't know where the light stick is. Jake. Man, the Lord sent you another stroke, nigga. You know? In the spirit. Man, how about you now, Shire? Give you a stroke and fist strike you down. You know? Benjamin Button. I'm hoping for the worst for these people, man. They literally killing Jake. You tell them lies. We're talking about a prophet figure in prophecy. This man's trying to put his technology inside you so he can take control of you, man. You're supposed to stand in defense against that. At least that, you know? We stand in defense for the name, the banner. That's why we're going in and identifying who your enemy is. Whether you care or not, because this man's going to meet you at your front door or where the hell you are when the lights go out, man. What are you going to do when you can't eat no rice and beans, man? Or whatever the hell your favorite food is. You don't got enough bullets to loot. Because guess what? Esau's been trained, man. It's coded in his DNA to love the sword, man. I saw a video. It's a knife. They got bullets to shoot at it. So you stab it, and then it's a tiny trigger, and it starts shooting bullets. You seen that? I was like, yo, what the heck? I remember seeing the old tiny guns, you know, back in the pre-Stooges days. They had the tiny mini guns, you know. That's wild, man. Esau's waiting for y'all to leave the cities or where the hell you think you're gonna go on some Walking Dead shit, you know? And that's judgment from the Lord. Esau always been lying in wait. Oh, that's why we have Psalms 137. He's rejoicing still. He's thinking, all right, this is my time. You know, I'm a 1776 this place again. You see the license plate in Virginia. No other state has that, if I'm not mistaken, right? Only Virginia got that. Virginia was a horrible slave state. There was a lot of, I got a book specifically on slavery, just in Virginia alone, a whole book. It was way more than Denmark, DC, and Jack Turner. All up and down 95 and going out to where Roanoke, VA is. They got a town called Lynchburg. You know what I'm saying? They got all these little towns in between. What's that school? Longwood, Virginia, way out there in the country. Bro's familiar with driving, they've been out there, you know. That's why this whole land got to get blanketed with fire, man. That's the only remedy. Esau's terrified of it. Read that real quick, then we'll go to this parable. Read some more there.
Yep. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 3. And it says, and say into it, thus saith the Lord God.
The Spirit's got to curse out Esau and you Israelites at the same time, man. Because you walk around like Edomites. Edomites sit down and get their hair trimmed up, you know. Yes, boss. Yes, master. You know. Oh, let me get my paperwork. Yep, everything's fine, officer. Yep. You know. Like them soldiers that wave by. Every once in a while, okay, you wave, that's cool. Don't fucking wave at centurion. You know? It's just weird energy, you know? We don't engage in that behavior. That t-shirt and fringes behavior. That's what it is, man. This shit is weird. You know? Go ahead.
And it says, on Mount Seir.
Well, he worried about the enemy. I know he is. The way I was speaking. They be convicted, bro. They be terrified. We keep glancing over trying to figure out like we ask good questions. You know? Because hey, reality is going to hit, man. Go ahead.
And it says, on Mount Seir, I'm against thee. And I will stretch out my hand against thee and will make thee most desolate.
Right, so if Esau's going to be most desolate, you already know Big Shirley going to be desolate. She ain't got shit to hope for. Neither does Maria, or what are some of the other Northern Kingdom names, you know? It might be Northern Kingdom here. Go ahead, bro.
And it says,
let me stop messing with the people and see.
and it says right here, verse 4, and I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate.
Right, so one thing about great millstones, if you stand around us for 5 minutes or more, you're going to hear the name Yahawashi, and it's a wrap, whether it went to your AirPod or not, all right? Or into the cell phone, like Sammy and Jason with this, his mom got the she didn't say she was screaming anything. Some people scoff, they cross the street, scoffing at the bar, drinking a beer, you know? Go ahead, bro. Hey, Esau, we're going to show you the definition of chimping out in the kingdom, man. You know? We're going to have actual monkeys laughing. And if you want them to speak Hebrew, it's going to look like they're speaking Hebrew to you. But to us, they're just making monkey noises. It's going, hey, the kingdom going to be far out for you Edomites, man. And we're talking about gorillas, huge gorillas, man. The size of these trees. Right? Wolves, bears, everything. You think these animals are in their natural state? Absolutely not. Dogs in the ancient time, you see how these hyenas are in the wild. Those are dogs. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, bro.
It says right here, verse 4, and I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh.
Right, because you're in the heavens right now. It's going to be crazy in heaven. Like Esau built his system. Because in that video about the Moabites and how they were able to get restaurants and stuff, there was a clip where they showed the Twin Towers and the Statue of Liberty. All the nations were looking at like, damn, that's where we gotta go. We gotta go find that green bush. First it was copper, because of oxidization, it turned green. All right, which was supposed to be a slave woman in chains at first. You see that? Esau, you're a fucked up individual, man. Like literally. Shit be vexing if you think about it too long. All right. But hey, that's why let's reveal who he is. Yahawashi knew who you were, man. get the words of Yahawashi. We might come back to that. We can bounce around whatever we got. Wicked or slave.
This is Matthew 13 and 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. Matthew 13 and 27. So the servants of the householder came and said,
Right, the reason why I'm letting it go is Yahawashi actually explained. He doesn't explain all the things. Some hopefully explain, and you better take heed to it. He doesn't explain all of it. He tells it in hit and he spoke about it. That's what he's doing in it. Like a little bit that he gives you, you're supposed to really take heed to it. You know? Really take heed to it.
Matthew 13:27. The servant of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares? He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while we gather up the tares, he root up also the wheat with them.
Right, you kill off good seed. Everything that he does, it is what it is. Remember, let everything play out. That's why the scripture says, not the course of the river, that comes to mind, you know? That's why we talk about the application of the scripture. When all hell breaks loose, you're going to know intuitively. The scripture also says to trust thine own soul. People say, we read Jeremiah 17 where it says the heart is wicked by nature. That's labia, right? That's love. Soul is nakash. All right? So the scriptures aren't contradicting themselves. Go ahead.
But he said, nay, lest while we gather up the tares, he root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
Okay. Get Jeremiah 7. I haven't played the edition. Yeah, I think that's Jeremiah 7. Yeah, let's go. Okay. My mom, yeah, bring it on out. Got it? Was he finished? No, bring it out. Okay.
This is
Ezekiel, what we're going to find out is this tares is wicked, all right? It's Esau evil, you know?
Oh, no, you go.
Go ahead.
Just in
this
case.
is Ezekiel 35 and 3, and the heading here is a message for Edom. It says, give them this, again, this is an NLT, give them this message from the sovereign Lord. I am your enemy, O Mount Seir, and I will raise my fist against you to destroy you completely. I will demolish your cities and make you desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord. And in the AMP it says, then you will know without a doubt that I am the Most High. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless.
Yeah, so we don't expect you to believe our pure influence that we receive from the Yahawashi. We are the Israelites for that matter. You know? They only focus on, like IUIC, you only focus on Esau Edom so much, then you get that phone call. On the back, nigga. All these men, you're doing coordinated marches. Why don't you do a coordinated march at so many sundown towns? A coordinated march at the capital. It's so big and bad. Go ahead.
Verse 5, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own.
Yeah, when did that happen? Right? Where are you reading that? Ezekiel?
Ezekiel 35.
That's after David. So people will say, well, this happened already. You know what I'm saying? No, this didn't happen. Now, I know where it was. I just want to see for the camera. People will say, well, that happened to the Edomites. No, it didn't. how is Ezekiel talking about it? Edomite didn't rule during that period. If I'm not mistaken, that's the Assyrian Empire going into the Babylonian Empire with Ezekiel. You know? So it's future prophecy. Remember, we're the prophets. We don't expect you to understand what you're saying because it's riddle. We're reading about a riddle right now. Got some more there?
Yeah, there's a couple more. As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come.
Yo, this is the NLT. These aren't our words. It said Esau, you're going to get a bloodbath. That's Isaiah the 34th chapter. My sword shall be bathed in heaven. All right, you know what a nuclear bomb does to the atmosphere, man? Sucks up all the oxygen. You know? And sends out a radiated blast. That's how Esau's cities are going to get demolished and destroyed. All right, which includes what? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, your cities, your places. That's a given. They're going to be gone. You know? But if you don't want to avoid that, then that's fine. Just enjoy the lake of fire. Because there's no such thing as hell, man. That's another thing some of these other Israelite groups teach. All right? That would make the Most High just. You go off one time and he punishes you for eternity. That's fucked up, man. I used to think that in church, like, damn, I keep getting bricked. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. I'm sitting in school trying to focus on the schoolwork, thinking about going to hell and shit. You know? Oh, that's super unrighteous, bro. That's fucked up. He is unbalanced. Of course, the scriptures are threatening. They're supposed to build you up. Ain't no building up in church. They eyeballing you while the cops coming by, you know? Bro, I lived in the Baptist church to ruthless, bro.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, lock the doors. Fucked up, bro. Go ahead.
Verse 7, I got till 9. I will make Mount Seir utterly
Which
desolate.
was established by an Edomite, by the way. All right? The Baptist church, modern day Christianity, and these other denominations, established by the people we're reading about right here in the scriptures. We're ready to get destroyed. Go ahead.
Verse 7.
Hey, you got a question, old timer? What's he asking? Okay. What's your question?
Who was the son who Abraham with Abraham before Abraham came down and talked to the people of Israel?
Oh, Moses, you mean? You mean Moses? Yeah, Moses. His name is Yahweh, the Heavenly Father.
Oh, shit.
And he came
Through an angel.
to an angel.
Yeah, it's an angel.
So who is God? Who's really was God?
His name is Yahweh. The Heavenly Father is Yahweh. His son's name, who the world calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahawashi. All right? And then you have the angels, which is Allahayim, which means gods in English, which is gods in English. All right? Go ahead, Doc.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 7. I will make Mount Seir utterly desolate, killing off all who try to escape and any who return. I will fill your mountains with the dead.
Right. It's almost going to be like a Van Allen belt. You're not going to want to come back to Babylon. Yeah, it's going to be that forbidden land. You want to sing songs, melodies about it? In Deuteronomy 28, that's all going to get flipped. We're going to write proverbs and bywords. You know? We're going to make your women hate you. We're going to look at each other with hatred. You're going to be breaking out the fights and brawls on your way back home in your shackles. You got to sleep in shackles. The shackles aren't coming. See, Esau would let us take the shackles off. All right, here's the plantation. No, you're sleeping with shackles. You're going to shit with shackles. You're going to shower with shackles. You know? Get used to it. Because you're forging them yourself, by the way, too. It's going to be a lot of clinking and clanging in the kingdom. We're going to get ancient, man. That's why I'm watching Game of Thrones all over again, man. Those are all Jakes. I forgot. The very first Jake they show in there, he's a sodomite, man. Ain't that some bullshit? Forgot. That's why I watched it for a third time. We're going back to those type of times in righteousness, man. Where you're going to find the best steel on earth, you know? You're going to hand it over to us just to chop your ass, you know? You got to build big-ass swords, man. We're going to be huge giants on earth again. Genesis the 6th chapter, that was us. You polluted the Lord's inheritance, man. You're about to get We're about to get wiped off the face of the earth. The Lord is showing you. Let's get Isaiah 24. You keep going, bro. Kind of switch gears. Just because it's so damn hot, we got to get it in the scriptures. I brought it out in the video. The Lord can stop everything just by turning up the heat. That's all you got to do. You know, Esau can only use harp so much. Nigga, you don't control the sun. If you control the sun, that means the children of Israel are done away with. You can't do that. Alright? That's in Sirach, the 43rd chapter. He created the moon for ordinances and keep everything in place. Right? Go ahead. Yeah, continue on.
Verse 8, I will fill your mountains with the dead. Your hills, your valleys, and your ravines will be filled with people slaughtered by the sword.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you go. You go after that, off grid, after this, down the river,
Archive.
East of get your ass, man.
$2.25.
Wherever you at, wherever mountains reach, because you know, you fly west, you're gonna go over the Rockies. You know, depending on where your flight goes, you know. He's gonna destroy all this, even the flatlands. Texas, Mad Max Lake, you know, Arizona. This all does it. This is still parts of the southwest of the United States that are not there. It's so damn bad. You know, you go 200 to 300 miles and see nothing. That's going to get destroyed. If you're out there. You know? What Esau will do, he'll take a mountain and build it underground. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 9, I will make you desolate forever. Your cities will never be rebuilt.
Yeah, that's why I said they shall see the smoke of her burning. It's going to be a period of time, this smoke is just going to keep on going up. It's not going to stop. It's not going to affect us. It's going to remind everybody on earth who the fuck is in charge, man. Excuse my language. You know? Go ahead.
Then you will...
That's what companies and stuff will do, man. They'll make a certain move just to put everybody in fear. You know? Some bullshit.
Then you will know that I am the Most High. Verse 10, for you said, the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. We will take possession of them. For you said, the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. We will take possession of them.
Balfour Declaration. What verse is that?
Ezekiel 35 and 10.
Yeah, I'm going to have a conversation with Chat about that verse tonight. Chat
what do we care that the Most High is there? Therefore, as surely as I live, says the Most High, I will pay back your angry deeds with my own.
Yeah, angry deeds shooting. This is at the moon. We got something called space junk, you know? Let's get on that. Let's go to the precinct. Yeah, I can go Isaiah 24 from the top.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 2. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 24 verse 1. And it says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down.
Right, you saw that with Venezuela. Turn that thing completely upside down, man. Apartment buildings, people running out of an apartment building just to see another one falling on their ass. Like if they would have ran too far, the other one would have fell on them. You know? You got people on ring cams and blinks that they got down there. Some of those videos are starting to surface. As the internet starts to come back in certain areas, it's showing you what happens. Meanwhile, don't forget, Haiti is still fucked up in 2010, man. Haiti is jacked up. They say the U.S. went there and just to track the children, man. And get out there, harvest organs, and put some Neuralinks, free trials, you know? They didn't rebuild any of the infrastructure. You can't ever believe, when they say humanitarian efforts, they talk about the supply and demand that's going on with Epstein Island still, you know? Because everybody forgot about that. The Edomites are wicked as hell. That shit is still popping off. Go ahead.
Yep. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 24 verse 1. And it says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. It shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master.
Yeah, that's because the Lord, remember in 1 Peter 4:17, he's going to bring judgment on earth. And he's going to start at his house. All right? And where the house of the Lord dwelt was in the temple. So it's very spiritual. I'm talking about the first major earthquake. The hell with Katrina. Like an actual prophetic, you know, like something Yahawashi said directly get the tribe of Levi, man. You know? Because nobody talks about Simeon. Simeon's on the island. You know what I'm saying? But it was just enough to jack Levi up. You know? Go ahead. According to prophecy, where he would be located. Because Levi is everywhere. Prophetically, that's what we believe and we cling to. Go ahead.
This is Zephaniah 1, verse 2.
Yeah.
I will utterly consume all things from off the land.
Right, and he didn't do that in Jeremiah's time. Sodom and Gomorrah had already happened. You know what I'm saying? The flood had already happened. And you can only war and go to battle and burn down houses so much. You can't burn a whole entire land. Consume a whole land. You know? Go ahead.
I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heavens.
Yeah, he's going to show you, just like he did in Egypt, but he's going to amplify it. Because he did that in Egypt. The big hailstorms with the fire on them, destroyed everything, was knocking out livestock. Again, the animals were much bigger back then. Can you imagine a cow or an ox, you know, like this railing here, 2 or 3 sizes times of that thing, man. At its full strength, working, get destroyed, your business is through. That's what's going to happen to this place. There's not going to be nothing left when the missiles drop. We got hypersonic, supersonic missiles. Iran's threatening that they don't have no other choice but to go nuclear. And it ain't talking about because you shut off their lights or anything. They're talking about making nuclear weapons, man. Now what Esau Edom's going to do, he's going to try to blame us. Like we went over there and helped this nigga out. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the accuser of our brethren as well. Esau Edom is in this AI digital book. You're going to get destroyed with all this wickedness, all these fiber optics, all these 300,000 proposed robot dogs to guard the data centers. All right? A spiritual battle is coming too. A standard's going to be lifted up. You think the miracles that you read in the scriptures were fake? The men of the Lord were putting people to death. It says in the days of their prophesying, they called fire down from heaven. It wasn't just referencing Elijah for no reason. You know? Oh, but when John wasn't calling fire down from heaven when he was baptizing people. He didn't do that in his lifetime. And he didn't do it in this time. The elder Abba Bivens, when he was on the scene, he wasn't calling fire down from heaven. With the words he was, you know? But let an Edomite get upset with some of the hopeful elect. Like if you're the hopeful elect, an Edomite piss you off and all hell breaks loose, you might pray a prayer, Lord, strike this nigga down, a barrel thunderbolt come down, and you're not even affected or afraid. Imagine somebody gets struck by lightning in front of you, but that would scare the shit out of somebody. Unless you got the spirit of Yahawashi on you. You might be like, damn, laugh, giggle. You know, it happens in our dreams all the time. Yeah, the water, Lord. Wake up smiling, a little shaky, you know, but smiling, you know. Go ahead, bro.
Zephaniah 1, verse 3.
Yeah, that's good. Let's keep going on that.
I will consume man and beast.
Yeah, that's going on in Europe right now. They're killing it. I told you, all the Lord got to do is just turn up the heat, turn up the sun. Go ahead.
I will consume the fowls of the heaven and the fish of the sea.
Now, what Esau's going to do, he's going to blame it on science, you know? Oh, it's solar flares, pockets of heat. Yeah, we understand pockets of heat, it's solar flares. What's the Lord doing this? It's not hard, it's not you. It's serial killer Earth. Okay? Controlled by Yahawashi down shot. I like to say it like that. Like Esau, you got an actual show called that. So I'm not making words up. You can have something on TV. And a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, that series could have kept on going, man. When they talk about Katrina and what happened in Japan, you know. But the Lord amped it up. Katrina was nothing. You know? Look at everything that happened after that. Go ahead. We had that huge tsunami in Fukushima. Right? Fukushima. That was crazy. And you had a lot of the ship and all that radioactive stuff is still spilling, just like the oil is still spilling in the Gulf and various other rivers that are fucked up. It's all kinds of chemicals in there, you know, and in the ocean. A lot of the fish testing high for radioactive material after that Fukushima stuff. They were washing up on the shores of Vancouver and, you know, Seattle, and Oregon and all the states that border over there. You know, they were collecting rainwater. People in the states collecting rainwater. It was all jacked up. That's because of your ass. Let's go back to, you got something?
Yeah.
You hop in there.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
Yeah, it says before, destroy all the land thereof. When we left Egypt was messed up, man. All their army was chasing us. All their firstborns were dead. You know, their strength. You know what I'm saying? Now, people think, that's why you gotta watch movies on it, because people hear firstborn, you think a bunch of babies are dying. No. We have old men, you know what I'm saying, younger men, middle age. It didn't matter. People were living longer back then, you know? So the Lord did a number. Livestock was gone. There was a lot of blood still stained on the earth because of all the water. The smell of the frogs, the crops were gone. That's what you're starting to see here. America is crumbling. The infrastructure is through, man.
Yeah, you're right.
I may add, you know, when you mention all those plagues, you know, those plagues brought devastation to a society, but it also brought devastation to the economy. You know, when you mention all these plagues, the river turning to blood, you know, the cattle being struck down by hail mingled with fire, that's money down the drain. You know, and America's getting hit the same way. The infrastructure, you know, is gone. America's kind of sub-parties like Venezuela got hit with a major earthquake. That's huge money that's going down the drain, man, infrastructure-wise, man. You know, and so the Lord is plaguing Babylon and its subordinates just as before, man, and it's affecting its money-wise, man.
You know what's heavy? You know what's heavy about that is in the ecosystem, certain large fish eat other smaller fish. We eat the fish. So that's leading to disease of people. The Bible is spot on accurate once again. I will bring plagues upon the earth. So that's going to feed into the disease epidemic. This thing is a domino effect.
Jeremiah chapter 4. And I will bring them to Babylon, to all the inhabitants of Chaldea, all their evil that they have done in Zion and sight, said the Lord. Behold, and against you will destroy the mountains, said the Lord, which destroyed all the earths. And I will stretch out my hand on the beast and roll it down from the rocks.
Why you continue to build it the way it is, or they're talking about trying to add AI to it too. You know? So you no longer pay for the app, you know, it's built in to the utility. They even got they already got the smart thermostat. You know, you control your whole home with the damn Alexa issue. Oh yeah. about that, present that to the world. China already has it. Some of it's other people in other countries are looking at like, not only China, but Africa, Europe, South America, well off people there, they get yeah, that's all. Yeah, gotta go back and watch this. Jacked up.
This is Revelation 11. Revelation 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants the prophets and to the saints.
Right, because we're in harmony with the earth. Some brothers more than others, you know. At the end of the day, the earth belongs to us. You know?
And them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldst destroy them which destroy the earth.
Right, that's Esau evil. He's the one that He's the one that said the parade gonna happen to him. So he should cut it off. He's gonna do the perfect that he let it happen. You can end up like here. You know? And we're practical, alright? If there's certain brothers, that's why you see the camp the way it is. If certain brothers got conditions or whatever, stay the hell home, you know? You need your next week. You need your practice. Shit, somebody else might need you to get personal life. You can't risk everything just for on Saturday for your personal life, you know what I'm saying? There's something seriously going on with you. This is the business of Yahawashi.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 3, and it says,
And it's been times, I remember a while back when I was a little heavier, you know, and my diet was messed up. I'm talking about last year. I was having a hard time eating. There's a couple of stuff down there. I was, Lord put the spirit on my eyes. Once in a while, I know he's going to watch that, you know. But I was changing the diet. So now it's like, this is nothing, you know. We're not going to stay out here. It's crazy. It's just like any job. Before you go to work, make sure you got this, that. That's how it's up, brother. Drink your water, you know. Eat something, you know. That's something too heavy. You're not frying. And make sure you drink after. And let's get that. Whatever that brand was, that had me cooking, bro. That's usually what it is when you go, like, sit your ass down in the shade somewhere. Yeah, get some watermelon,
Proverbs 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
yeah, this is too much. We're talking to people today. I mean, some brothers like this season. My favorite is the first one. Summer school, you know, I like to bring them. I like all the videos. My favorite. Everything's quiet. Like food, no bugs. Not taking the video, chasing things.
Proverbs 22 and 3.
You're gonna enjoy them all equally in the kingdom. That's what I'm also fighting for, you know? Be in harmony with the mosquitoes, let them do their thing. Let the other nations figure it out, you know?
A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
Yeah, we call them brothers up. It's 3:30.
But the simple pass on and are punished.
Hey, punish. Hey, we've seen the punishment come in many forms, you know? We've seen the evil in our community. That's why a lot of you guys, who used to be in the camp, no longer here. They got punished one way or another. Whether their name was taken from them, whether they were locked up, you know? And then when you're back in the world, who knows? That goes with everybody else.
Brother, you threw him.
You know? But we even take that, we make sure that we not too slow. That's why the scripture says, be not pointed like a small man, ignorant of the thing of a small man and great. You know? We pay attention to the details. If it's too damn humid or too hot, hey, one way or another, both gonna let you know, hey, brother, we'll see you next week. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna come out here. Like the Zambian place, he's probably like, yeah, that's too hot. I know they're not out there. But he don't know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how we get down. Rain or shine, as long as it's not crazy. Like black ice everywhere, you know? I remember one year we did the work, I hit some black ice on the way home. That when I had the Mitsubishi. Yeah, I hit some black ice going home. I remember that shit like yesterday. That shit was terrifying. Because I was at going 45 miles per hour.
Oh, shit.
You know? That shit, it wasn't like you hit black ice, skate, oh, okay, you got your grip again. Okay, you get going on the black ice, like, you know,
Ooh.
40, 50 yards of ice.
Damn.
Sliding, you know? And I'm not, oh, most high in Christ blessed. Absolutely not. I wouldn't slid into it. You know? I probably would have slid into a damn ditch. You know? I was called like, GMS KnightsofYahawashi. I was like, man, woo. Go ahead.
This is Surah 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, GMS. But in temptation, and even again, he will deliver him.
Temptation, they can come through the Lord trying you, chastising you, you know? Or they can come through a lust or something like that. Man, I got all kinds of stories. Bro, I done had my brakes punched. I done had my transmission fucked with. That's why I can't stand you niggas with it, man. I can only tolerate 2 of my 3 of my life. Maybe 4. You know? That whip, man, it's been like shit. It's 100% to the other Sebastian. That's why he was taking the whole camp. He was bringing all of us to camp. Taking us all home, bro.
And when I used to live in New Jersey, an entire family got wiped out in an accident because the tires were bad. One of the tires is forked and caused the vehicle to lose control, killed the whole man and his family. 2 things you can't wait on: brakes and tires. Stop what you're doing and get the shit fixed. Brakes and tires, life and death.
Yeah, Jake, I was playing games at F-150. I had the damn brake line cut every 90 days, bro. And then all the tires, completely, they were used tires. You know, so if it was raining, you slide through red lights. It was almost raining through. I was parking at a 7-Eleven, I almost drove through the damn door. Wow. Bro, a lot of shit that happened. That's why a lot of you that are, you out there in YouTube land, you don't really know what the hell going on in our personal life, bro. You know, I almost drove down into my goddamn apartment building, you know, because it went up to the curb, like, oh shit, here we go. Alright, sell this shit. Oh, and then the radiator, every time I came to a red light, the pit would start smoking. I had to keep 2 gallons of water in the trunk all the time. I was like, fuck that. But then you gotta be more practical. It's like, alright, this is actually life-threatening. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be practical now. Let's grow the hell up. You know?
Jake like to procrastinate. I'll get to it.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. I'm professor for all you brothers. Fuck it. All y'all brothers.
That is still faith.
Yeah.
Because before the Messiah, he said,
Oh, yeah. I got my head. Way back.
Christ was as beaten with rods. Once was as stoned, Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day have I been in the deep, in journeyings often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils of my own countrymen, in perils of the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, and in perils in the sea.
Yeah, so this coping mechanism is whatever you're going through, go read what Paul is going through and compare it to that. Of course, you're not supposed to compare what you're going through with another man, but the scriptures were left to us for comfort us.
Right.
So these were written down for you to say, okay, I got a flat tire, something's going on with my car. Well, shoot, I'm not out at sea, overnight, treading water, getting all wrinkly and worrying about if I'm gonna get swallowed up like Jonah. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the thoughts that run through your head. Oh, can I get? I was actually reading this since I said that. Sirach 43. It's a beautiful scripture I hadn't seen in a while, or heard in a while, because I was actually listening to the audio. GMS Sound of the Apocrypha. I was on it this week. Yeah, 43. It says something about the ask the people that go out to sea, and yeah, 24.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 24. And it says, they that sail on the sea tell of the danger thereof. And when ye hear it with our ears, we marvel thereat.
Yeah, read it one more time.
Yep, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 24. It says, they that sail on the sea tell of the danger thereof. And when we hear it with our ears, we marvel thereat.
Yeah, like I've been, shout out to Rose and Trinidad. I'm not sure about down. There's a brother down there, and a few brothers are fishermen. They got their own boat. And stuff that they say is unbelievable, man. You're out there, you hear different sounds, you hear things. And you also see things as well. Not only in the chariots and stuff, but stuff out on the water, And you hear these things, there's marvel there. You guys can see men that be out there. Different Navy men or whatever, they're going to tell you stories, man.
I need some, sir.
Yeah. When you look at the journey, with the disciples of GMS KnightsofYahawashi, being at sea, where it says right where they marvel they're at, that's where faith was tested. You know what I'm saying? That the disciples being on the ship, it being stormy, Yahawashi told people to walk on water, this was all done. They was at sea, man. So that's what faith was tested, man.
Second Corinthians 11, verse 25. Christ was a beaten with God. What was I stoned? Christ I suffered shipwreck. A life in the day.
The only time I did suffer, go overboard in a kayak, and then Boy Scouts. I was like, I had to drown like So even because I've been, I've been whitewater rafting a couple times. We didn't flip over. That shit's scary, bro. That's the thing. That's the one thing about when you flip over a net, it's got to be a coordinated for everybody to get it back up. They teach you that in the military. You know what I'm saying? Basically show you how to, get everything up and running again. Yeah, that current, bro. Hey, I can know, Jake know.
Ain't no joke, man.
Yeah.
Christ was a shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep, in journeys often, in perils of water, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea.
Yeah, Paul didn't have nowhere to go. It's like, I'm going to just relax for a little bit. I'm going to chill out. He was always on his mission. So what came with that was hell. And he was doing the same. It's not like he was going around and doing something opposite of Matthew the 10th chapter. He gave his instructions to his disciples. He gave the same instructions to the Apostle Paul, So they all went through the same thing. He went through all these trials until he was executed, just like all the other apostles. Go ahead.
In perils among false brethren, in weakness and painfulness.
Well, we're going through that now. Some brothers have lost jobs, businesses. I'm talking about going back to the Yakanan days. got a lot of brothers jacking bodies and it's completely taken away. Right? But through the spirit already had a spiritual network set up, you know? So the Aquans were okay during this time. That's why it's important that brothers get tight now.
In weariness and painfulness, and watching often, and hunger and thirst.
Right, so all of these, even though, that's why I take the night yesterday right now. Even when you're catching all this hell, you still gotta watch. You know, you still gotta be on your P's and Q's. You gotta observe everything to its minor detail, especially when it comes to how Esau's operating in the market of the fourth industrial revolution, Revelation 13th chapter, and the pulse of our people. You know, everybody is about to mourn and be upset because everybody's mourning and upset mostly because Ghana lost. You know what I'm saying? Only Morocco's left and shit, and a few other countries.
Yeah. Oh man.
But if I see Jake's playing on that, probably is. At that stage, a lot of those teams get there to be professionals, just like with any other sport. They gotta be Jakes. You know, your Mickey Mantles and Babe Ruth and stuff like that. Even my man Zebulon, skater, snowboarder. Oh no, yeah, Zeb. Zeb, I don't know. He's on this tonight, bro. This is the Gentile. Anyway, we catch hell for saying that, you know? That's what we're telling you. Even though we catch hell, you gotta keep on watching the practice of Christ, you know? We're hoping that we get the hell up out of here. So with that, we're gonna punch out the jump, get on praise to
Yahawah by Hashem, Yahawashi by Hashem, Josh.